We are under threat, apocalyptic risk of sudden meteor strike, NASA claims in a shocking revelation. This comes, of course, after last week's simulated asteroid strike, which supposedly took place over New York City. They failed that test as well. So every 2 years they have such a simulation taking place. They have their meetings in various locations throughout the world. And this time it took place in Maryland. The initial strike point was supposed to be Denver, Colorado, and they were supposed to, in their simulation, try and deflect this asteroid. And they did sort of bomb it supposedly in their drill, which was a tabletop drill. And what happened was a piece broke off, and it impacted New York City. So their whole simulation, the way they handled everything was a failure. And not only that, but under law, it would be falling on the country that did that to recompense those that had been injured or damaged in any way by this action. I guess it's like what ships do when they're traveling at sea. You know, you have a tugboat, and the tugboat supposedly goes and brings in a ship and into port, and if the tugboat does something wrong and the ship sinks or collides with another ship or something, it's the tugboat company that has to reimburse for damages. I guess it's the same type of thing here as far as the legal consequences are concerned if something goes wrong. So this is by Express UK by Oli Smith. NASA issued their terrifying warning, and they proclaimed that Earth is under threat of a meteor strike, that it's just a matter of time before it happens. And this was amid growing concerns of imminent asteroid impact, having to do with their mitigation of such an event. Now the world faces, they say, an apocalyptic threat if NASA scientists are correct when they assume that an asteroid strike is not that far away. And it takes place every couple of million years. We just had one that came in, a meteor came in over Chelyabinsk in 2013, I think? No, maybe it was sooner, or not that far away. And it was in the middle of winter over Russia, and nobody saw it coming. It was a total surprise. So we see that NASA, even though they have a tracking system, they can't catch everything. Now, NASA Chief Scientist John Bridenstine issued one of the agency's alarming warnings yet. He claims that Earth is about to face the biggest threat from outer space. And of course, it was a very alarming warning, full of doom, because he says we don't have any way of stopping it. So that came during the conference that was organized to equip humans with ways to defend planet Earth from such events as a meteor strike, an asteroid strike, God forbid, a comet strike. So this past week, the scientists from around the world met at the 2019 Planetary Defense Conference, which took place in College Park, Maryland. As we said, this is biannual, it's every 2 years, so in 2021 it's going to take place, I think, in Europe, somewhere in Switzerland. The exercise this time became a regular event, well, it's a regular event every 2 years, among international community of planetary defense agencies and experts. This year, the conference was scrambling to develop methods of handling imminent asteroid impact, and also what happens in the case where they understand where it's going to, they calculate where it's going to hit. They have to evacuate the population in case it's a populated area. Now, if it is hit in a desert, or if it hits in the ocean, you know, as a couple of weeks ago, something hit in the ocean south of the Aleutian Islands of Alaska and the North Pacific Ocean, so there was no need to evacuate anybody. But if it hits on a populated area, of course you have to get the people out. So there's a lot of logistics that have to take place there. Popular scientists that we know on television, Bill Nye, also warned about the existential threat to humanity in this conference. He said, the Earth is going to get hit with another big asteroid. The problem is we don't know when. It's a very low probability in anyone's lifetime, but it's a very high consequence event, and if it happens, it would be like Control-Alt-Delete for everything. That's the end. It's an Earth extinction event, he's trying to say. NASA Chief Scientist Jim Green agreed with Bill Nye's remarks. He says it's not a matter of if, it's only a matter of when. Now, during a role-playing simulation exercise, the NASA scientist had the goal of stopping a meteor impact to Earth. And despite being given 8 years to prepare in the simulation, in this scenario, the meteor was heading for New York City and eventually forced to evacuate under the simulation scenario. Can you imagine evacuating 12 million people? How would you do that in a couple of hours? That's physically impossible. The asteroid blast destroyed everything within a 15-kilometer unsurvivable, quote-unquote, with an energy 1,000 times greater than the nuclear bomb that dropped on Hiroshima. 1,000 times greater. And NASA right now is working with, again, Elon Musk's SpaceX company in order to develop a double asteroid redirect test in order to try to stop a future collision. And they're doing, we know that NASA has a DART mission whereby they're going to work with the Didymos. There are two asteroids traveling together, a big one and a little one. They named them Didymos, meaning twins in Greek, although they don't look like twins because one is huge and the other one is smaller, but they travel together. And their aim is to, in this DART mission, the asteroid mission, they want to impact the smaller one with the spacecraft. And they believe that the impact will be big enough to, or they're going to try and have it that way, that it will be big enough to push the little one off its trajectory a significant amount. Now, what does that mean? I have no idea. But that's the DART mission. They want to push the little one they're doing that in order to see what their failures will be, see what their successes will be. They have to do like a real dry run on a real celestial body that's out there. Now, I don't know how far that is from us, how long it's going to take them to get there. So they're working with Elon Musk to do that. They're trying to have a field trip type of a thing to stop future collisions. That's their aim, to get their methods down pat. So NASA hopes to detect 90%, they say, of asteroids ranging from about 450 feet in diameter and above with the large synoptic survey telescope that they have in Chile. Now, even the little ones, of course, can do damage. But we're talking about events that happen that we see on Earth. You've seen some of these images here. This is one close to us in Quebec, Canada, the Manicouagan asteroid impact area. We've had other ones here in the past in this video. And also you had, of course, the huge circular rings of the impact in the Yucatan Peninsula, which supposedly took place 66 million years ago. That was the impact, they say, that caused the dinosaur extinction. And this has been going on for ages, for eons. And if you see the video before this one having to do with Plato and ancient Egyptians telling Plato and Solon that such events have been taking place regularly in Earth's history. Changing pole shifts, changing where the sun rises. The sun used to rise, they say, in the west and set in the east. Can you imagine? And the stars were changed, the location of the stars were changed in the skies. Unbelievable events did take place. So they're trying to get their act together to be able to stop such events from happening, causing extinction again. If you'd like to join me on my Patreon account, you will hear content not covered by mainstream media. These riveting stories will be based on my research, and I will state my opinions and give my personal insight on diverse and controversial subjects and world events not covered by mainstream media, and not supported by YouTube guidelines. So whatever I have on my Patreon, most of those will not be on my YouTube channel. Please consider becoming a member today. More of the most significant and important videos will be on my Patreon channel. Your support helps me to continue my research and keeps this YouTube channel alive. And we depend on your support, your generous charity, because we help economically challenged families here in Athens, Greece, in Kapota, and we also help the young generation with university tuition and the community around our church. Thank you.